بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بسيدنا ومولانا أبي عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام، وجعلنا الله وإياكم من الطالبين بثأره بين يدي الإمام المنصور المؤيد المهدي من آل محمد. اللهم صل. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. لبيك داعي الله لبيك، إن كان لم يجبك بدني عند استغاثتك ولساني عند استنصارك، فقد أجابك قلبي وسمعي وبصري. The following is the narration, and one of the saddest of narrations, of the night 11 of the month of Muharram on the plains of Karbala, when the granddaughters of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi were left on the plains of Karbala to face every possible trial and every possible tribulation. Having killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam shortly before Maghrib on the afternoon of the 10th of Muharram, Umar bin Sa'ad continued to add insult to injury. For the first time in Islamic history, a commander had ordered his soldiers to do the unthinkable, but the unthinkable was towards the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Umar bin Sa'ad turned around to his soldiers. He said to a number of them, in some narrations 10 are mentioned, he said to them, sharpen the hooves of your horses. They got down onto the hooves of their horses, and they began to sharpen the hooves of their horses with one particular intention in mind. He wanted the horses to trample on the bodies of the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He wanted the horses to trample on the body of the likes of Hur bin Yazid al-Riyahi, Muslim bin Awsaja, Habib bin Mudahir, Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, John, Anas ibn al-Harith, Abis al-Shakiri, amongst the others of the companions. So he asked the horse riders, at a time like this time, he said to them, have you sharpened the hooves of your horses? One by one they said, we have. Mukhtar al-Thaqafi called the 10 horse riders a few years after Karbala. He asked them if they knew who their fathers were. They admitted that they did not know who their fathers were. Each one of those riders, according to an opinion, was the son of adultery. Umar bin Sa'ad said to the riders, sharpen the hooves of your horses. They sharpened the hooves of their horses. He began to tell them to trample on the bodies that lay on the earth of Karbala, the bodies of the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Every name that Umar bin Sa'ad mentioned had a tribe in Yazid's army who were able to come forward and say, you've already killed our son, do not humiliate us by making horses kick him around Karbala. Hur bin Yazid al-Riyahi had Banu Riyah. They were present in the army of Yazid. The likes of Habib bin Madahir and Muslim bin Awsaja and others of the companions, each one of them had a family member or a relative or an alliance with a member in Yazid's army. Yazid then said, well, if all the companions have someone in the army, Umar bin Sa'ad said, if all of them have someone in the army, then trample on the family of Hussein bin Ali. One by one he began to ask them to trample on the bodies that lay on the earth of Karbala. Trample on the body of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. I ask you, what remained of Abbas's body that could be trampled on? He said, trample on the body of Abu al-Fadl. But Abu al-Fadl's mother, al-Banin, had a relation with Shimr bin al-Jawshan, and therefore at that moment you found that they said, leave Abbas alone. After this, they began to go through companions one by one, and they went through family members. They then went on to Qasim ibn al-Hasan, but Qasim's mother's tribe was the Fazaris, and they were represented in Yazid's army. Then they said, trample on the body of Ali al-Akbar. But Ali al-Akbar's mother, Layla, was Muawiyah's niece and Yazid's first cousin. So they left the body of Ali al-Akbar, they left the body of Qasim, they left the body of Abbas. One by one, even the family members, each one of them may have been related to somebody in the army of Yazid. Umar bin Sa'ad then asked, is there anybody who lies on the ground in Karbala whose mother and father have no one to represent him? Only one body lay on the ground in Karbala, whose mother Fatima and whose father Ali had no one to represent them in the opposition army. At this moment, Umar bin Sa'ad called out, O horse riders, ride the horses of God and trample on the body of Hussein bin Ali. One by one the horses came and kicked the chest of Abu Abdullah around the plains of Karbala. They dug their hooves deep into the chest that Rasulullah used to kiss. They would come and kick the body one way and the other. They would not leave Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam alone. Even having killed Imam al-Hussein, they wanted to humiliate him by kicking his body everywhere. As one poet states, you imagine Sayyida Zainab and Imam Zain al-Abidin having a conversation with each other, where Sayyida Zainab asks Imam Zain al-Abidin, oh my nephew, what is those bones that I hear breaking? Tell me, what are those bones that we hear breaking? And he replies, those are the bones of my father Abu Abdullah. Only Allah knows what happened to the heart of Fatima al-Zahra on the 10th of Muharram. 1 minute seeing her son Hussein beheaded, another minute seeing him kicked around the plains of Karbala the way a ball is kicked. If you lost one rib in Medina, come and look at the ribs of your son in Karbala. At this moment, having kicked the body of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, Umar bin Sa'ad turned round to his soldiers. He said, burn the tents of the granddaughters of Muhammad. The soldiers began to burn the tents where the ladies of Al-Muhammad and Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam were placed. All of a sudden the tents were moving with fire surrounding them, and the ladies of Al-Muhammad were running from one tent to another. Picture the scene of your daughter running away from an enemy, and now think of the daughter of Ali ibn Abi Talib running one way and the other. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam One day his house was burnt by the Abbasids. On that day he ran from one part of the house to another to grab his children and his grandchildren so he could get them out of the house. A few days after they burnt the house, one of the companions of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam came to him and said to him, Mawla, I see that you are very saddened. Is the burning of the house that which saddens you? He said, it's not exactly that. He said, then what is it? He said, when the house was on fire, I saw my daughters running from one side to another. I remembered Sham Ghareeban, and I remembered the daughters of Aba Abdullah running from one side of the tent to another. When the tents were on fire, some of the children were poked with spears as they ran from tent to tent. Imagine Ruqayya bint al-Hussein alayhi salam, only a few years old, calling out, Wa Husayna, and another calling out, Wa Abbasa, and another calling out, Wa Shahida. One by one the daughters were calling, where is Abbas and where is Hussein? Where is Akbar and Qasim? Where is Habib bin Mudahir and Zuhair ibn al-Qayn? They were running from one tent to another. Hamid bin Muslim narrates, he says, when I saw them run from tent to tent, I saw one of the girls with her dress on fire. He said, I came with some water. I said, here, take some of this water. She looked at me and she said, oh man, are you with us or are you against us? He said to her, I am neither with you nor am I against you. I am Hamid ibn Muslim. I have come here to write about what takes place. She said to him, how then can you offer me water, and my father died thirsty on the plains of Karbala? She then looked at him and she said to him, oh man, may I ask you a question? He said to her, yes. She said to him, have you read the Quran? He said, yes, I have. She said to him, have you read the verse, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. All of you know where I'm heading with this line. She said to him, have you read the verse, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. He said to her, yes, I have. She said, أَنَا يَتِيمَةُ الْحُسَيْنِ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ. I am the orphan of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. She then looked at him. She said to him, have you read the ayah of the Quran? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. When someone asks you something, don't reject what they have asked. He said to her, yes, I've read that ayah of the Quran. She said to him, then I ask you one thing. He said to her, tell me. She said, tell me, where is the land of Najaf? Direct me towards the land of Najaf. They say my grandfather Ali ibn Abi Talib is buried in the land of Najaf. Why would she want to call towards the land of Najaf? To complain to her grandfather about the way they've treated her on the plains of Karbala. To complain to her grandfather about the way that they've hurt her family, the way they've kicked Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam, the way they've burned the tents at that moment. She asked for that direction. That night, for all of those who were concerned, you found that night for all those who were concerned. What does the narration mention? The narration mentions that that night was a difficult night for all of them to sleep. It was difficult for each and every one of them. Imagine you've lost your son, or you've lost your brother, or you've lost your father, or you've lost all of them together. How difficult must it be for all of you to sleep that night? And that's why the narration mentions clearly that on that night, those who found it difficult to sleep could not find any way to sleep or rest. Others were restless because they were wondering about their baby. Some were wondering about their sons. Some were wondering about their brothers. Of the ladies who was wondering about her baby was, of course, Rabab, the mother of the 6-month-old baby. On this night, how difficult is it for a mother who loses her child? It's the most difficult thing for that mother if she loses her child. But how difficult is it for a mother who's seen the neck of her child pierced open in front of her? How difficult is it for a mother who was not able to quench the thirst of her child when her child was thirsty? And that's why we find on this night, you find that Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam was looking round at the other ladies who were alone on the plains of Karbala. Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam looked one way, she saw some of them asleep, and she looked another, she saw some of them frightened and therefore awake, but she could not find Rabab. She looked everywhere, where is Rabab? Why is Rabab not in the tents? Why is Rabab not sitting here? She went out to look on the plains of Karbala. She saw Rabab sitting, and then she saw her wandering. She came towards her, she said to her, Rabab, what's wrong? She said, I'm looking for my baby boy. I want to find my baby boy. I want to quench the thirst of my baby boy. How can I rest and my boy had nothing to drink? How can I rest and an arrow rested in my boy's neck? For Rabab was not able to sleep that night. Then there were other ladies who missed their husbands, for there were some ladies who were present at Karbala and their husbands were not there alongside them, as they had now been martyred. Amongst them was Daylam, the wife of Zuhair ibn al-Qayn. On this night, the Sham Ghareeban night, you found that Daylam was finding herself restless. She was not able to sleep. She was used to Zuhair always being next to her. So what did she do? She turned around to her servant and she said to her servant, here, take this piece of cloth. I want you to go out and try and find his body. And when you find his body, cover his body with this piece of cloth. When the servant went out to look for the body of Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, the servant came out on the battlefield in Karbala. She walked past one body that did not have a head on it. She walked past another body, it had lost fingers. She went past another body until she returned moments later back to the tent. Daylam looked towards her and said, "Oh lady, did you manage to cover the body of my husband Zuhair?" The lady said to her, "I apologize, I did not." She said to her, "Why not? I asked you to go out and cover his body. His body lies there on the plains of Karbala with no cover on it." The lady replied with a reply that breaks our heart every year when we hear her reply. She says, "When I was looking round at the bodies, I saw the holy body of Aba Abdullah with no cover on it. I thought to myself, how can I cover Zuhair's body and Aba Abdullah lies there on the ground with no cover on his body?" At that moment, Zuhair's wife said that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for covering Imam al-Hussein's body while it had no cover on it. That night especially was the most difficult night and the beginning of the most difficult nights for Sayyida Zainab alayha salam. Sayyida Zainab had seen Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi die. She had seen Fatima al-Zahra killed. She had seen Amir al-Mu'mineen injured in Kufa. She had seen Imam al-Hassan poisoned, and she had seen shimmer on the chest of Hussein. Can you imagine now in the past when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi died, she at least had her father and her brothers. When her father died, she at least had Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein. When Imam al-Hassan died, she had Imam al-Hussein and Aba al-Fadl. This night, Zainab has no Abbas and she has no Hussein. Zainab has no Amir and she has no Hassan. Zainab has no Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi alongside her. Sayyida Zainab that night, instead of looking after herself, she would go one way and she'd say, "Ruqayya, are you okay?" She'd go another way and she'd say, "Oh Sukaina, are you okay?" She'd go to another place and she'd say, has the fire burnt any of your legs? She'd go to another and she'd say, has the spear broken any of your bones? She'd go to another and she'd say, is there any bruising from any of the slaps? She would continue to ask herself this question, that what is the issue with each person. She would sit with them and hug them, sit with them and console them. I want to ask each of you a question. Who sat there and hugged Zainab alayha salam? Who sat there and looked after Zainab alayha salam? Who sat there and said to her, Zainab, are you okay? Who sat there and tried to protect Zainab alayha salam? Nobody was there who was able to look after her. That night, that may have been one of the reasons why the following incident is narrated. Zainab alayha salam tried to sleep, but she couldn't. And then for a moment when Ruqayya slept, when she saw Rabab sleeping, she saw Daylam sleeping, she saw Ramla sleeping, she saw Sukaina sleeping. Then for a moment she thought, let me try and get some sleep. All of a sudden, while she was asleep, she saw a man coming towards her from a direction. When she saw that man coming towards her from the direction, she suddenly awoke. According to some, it may have been within the dream. Others say she may have been awake. She suddenly awoke and she looked and she saw the man but could not recognize the man. All of you take your hearts, you know where I am heading now. She saw the man but she could not recognize the man. At that moment she called out, oh man, please don't attack us, please don't hurt us. No longer is there any Abbas or any Hussein with us. At that moment, the man looked at her and said, Zainab, don't you recognize your father, Amir al-Mu'mineen? Zainab, don't you recognize your father, Sayyid al-Wasiyin? Zainab, don't you recognize your father, Ali ibn Abi Talib? She looked towards him and it's as if she said, Father, 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 where were you all this time? Father, I wish you had seen Abbas when he went to the Furat. He went, Father, he went the way you told him that night in Kufa. He went to the Furat to get me some water, and because he couldn't contain the thirst of Sukaina, Father, he went that night to the Furat, he went that afternoon to the Furat. And when he went that afternoon to the Furat, he came back. But Imam al-Hussein left him there because he had lost his arms. Father, where were you when Qasim had soldiers mutilate his body? Father, where were you when Ali al-Akbar's thirst overtook him? Father, where were you when the arrow took the neck of the 6-month-old baby? But Father, 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 I ask you one thing. Where were you when Hussein lay on the ground? Father, where were you when Sinan walked towards him? Father, where were you when Shimmer grabbed his head? Father, where were you when I was alone on that ground looking at him fall on the earth? Father, where were you? Father, where were you? For me and Kulthum at that moment missed you, Father, more than we've missed you before. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Let's raise our hands, my dear brothers and sisters, wherever you may be. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise us with Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Ya Allah, raise us with the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman. My dear brothers, the majalis will continue insha'Allah tomorrow. We have not finished the majalis. Majalis will continue tomorrow insha'Allah. And we will also be having a question and answer session in a couple of days' time, looking at all the issues raised in the majalis over these nights. So please continue to join us on Imam Hussein TV at the same time every night. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of our marhumeen who have instilled in us the love of Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Let us all remember them with the Surah Al-Fatiha and welcome Mullah Ali with the loudest of your salawat.
Karbala sand, I know it burns, just like the tears that sting your cheek. Karbala sand, I know it burns, just like the tears that sting your cheek. And I understand, I felt your thirst to ease your fears. You'll hear me speak. Imam Hussein alayhi salam to Sayyida Ruqayya. Karbala sand, I know it burns, just like the tears that sting your cheek. And I understand, I felt your thirst to ease your fears. You'll hear me speak. Oh my daughter, look to the sky. Oh my daughter, look to the sky and see your father on a spear of blood held high to bring water. I know you'll try, even though the pain of their ropes has made you cry. A pain it brings me knowing that I can't help you. It makes me cry knowing what they will put you through, will put you through. With the weight of the chase and the cries of your pain, we all watch from above. We all watch from above. When they laugh when you fall, may Allah curse them all. Please be patient, my love. Please be patient, my love. Just like Zainab, just like Zainab. Promise me, daughter, you'll stay strong until we meet. Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya. With her, mashallah, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya. And as the night breaks into dawn, and as the night breaks into dawn, your shoulders bruised from their abuse, his left and right, Abbas is gone. We'd protect you, but it's no use. We'd protect you, but it's no use. He pulled it off, he pulled it off. Blood from your ear. How can a princess be treated with so much hate? He pulled it off, blood from your ear. How can a princess be treated with so much hate? And as they laugh, your fate you near. Trust me, daughter, that my Shia will not forget. no joy to find my dinner, it's only sadness. Your eyes were filled with light, but now only darkness, only darkness. The slaps on your soft face, you can't escape a chase. It breaks my heart to see. The slaps on your soft face, you can't escape the chase. It breaks my heart to see. It breaks my heart to see. Your heart was once of gold, now your pure heart's turned cold. Daughter, please don't blame me. Daughter, please don't blame me. And the worst part, and the worst part is that they've hurt Zainab as much as they've hurt you. Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya. And as you're marched, I watch afar. I feel I fail to keep you safe. Entering Sham from Karbala, my daughter jailed with no escape. The dust your bed, they hear your screams. The dust your bed, they hear your screams. They bring a plate to you that isn't what it seems. Your father's head, your tears they stream. It's time to rest, my love, I'll join you in your dreams. I promise you, my daughter, they'll do no more harm. Let me wipe your tears, my dear. Come lay in my arms, lay in my arms. On my face your tears dropped as your little heart stopped. You'll see Fatima soon, you'll see Fatima soon. Tell her about Shamir, you can complain to her. And your uncle the moon, and your uncle the moon. Come home, my dear, come home, my dear. We want you with us and we'll kiss away your pain. Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Ruqayya. Many thanks to the poet حيدر القزاز. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبي الفضل العباس وأخته زينب جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
this mother cries, in Karbala my son lies. Oh lovers, I am Zahra, I'll also come from afar. My tears will flow from Baqi to Furat, oh can't you see? Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. From Baqi another wails, severed his arms on that day. I raised my son for Ashura, he was the prayer of Zahra. My name is Baneen, my love no limit has seen. Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. Tears of blood from above the rain, crying for Mawla Hussein. Tears of blood from above the rain, crying for Mawla Hussein. From upon the 12th one's cheek, to avenge Asghar he seeks. My Imam, for you we weep, our yearning for you runs deep. Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. Love and tears are my fuel, marching with them towards you. But a drop in the million sea, oh Hussein, acknowledge me. I've walked on Karbala's floor to throw myself at your door. I long for Bainul Haramain, my heart is with Abbas and Hussein. Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. As I lay in my thoughts and darkness is all I find, your land is the only dream that ever fills my mind. How can a heart heal when from home it just feels so far? Every inch of my soul yearns in hope for Karbala. Without you I'm lost in this world, I need to see you. My master, a love like yours I've never felt so true. And I know you hear me calling to you, Hussein, I'll come crawling. Please accept me, I'm longing to see your holy shrine. I long long to be in Karbala, shed tears for you with a Zahra. Welcome me to your land so my heart can feel at home. Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. As the world becomes smaller and not what we once knew, the thought of your land is the strength that has pulled me through. The days have become weeks and now months and now years. But for your Hussein all this time I've pledged all my tears. I remember your land and once more tears fill my eyes. How long until your golden dome I see through my skies? And I know the time will arrive. Without you I cannot survive. Please accept me, I'm longing to see your holy shrine. I long to be in Karbala, shed tears for you with a Zahra. Welcome me to your land so my heart can feel at home. Allahumma arzuqna Karbala. It's been too long since my eyes have filled with your embrace. Please don't say, my master, that I've fallen from your grace. My sins have made me a stranger when you once knew me. This world I'm a prisoner, only you set me free. For in my heart unwavering and eternal flame, ignited by your love and your anguish and your pain. And I know you won't forget me, and your land soon, Hussein, I'll see. Please accept me, I'm longing to see your holy shrine. I long to be in Karbala, shed tears for you with a Zahra. Welcome me to your land so my heart can feel at home. Allahumma arzuqna ziyarat al-Hussein. I close my eyes and I'm near you. Your dust I can smell. I see where Zainab was standing and where Abbas fell. I see your Asghar in your hands, his blood thrown up high. I hear Akbar fall to the I see you alone calling for help and I answer. For us you gave your rule and will do the same, Master. And I know as the time will pass, my love for you, time it outlasts. Please accept me, I'm longing to see your holy shrine. I long to be in Karbala, shed it for you with azan. Welcome me to your land so my heart can feel at home. Assalamu alayka ya
Karbala, as I step onto your sands, you capture my eyes. Karbala, I see heaven has been placed here beneath your skies. Karbala, I feel the darkness of grief within me, your eyes. Karbala, I feel my heart heavy with my wails and cries. Karbala, and finally opposite me, your pure shrine lies. All my life I've lived, now I meet with my demise. Karbala, I shed my tears wondering what I have been. I come to you dressed in all my lies and sin. I can't bear, oh forgiver. Now I'm here in Karbala, Karbala, Karbala. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, starts with morning. Muharram is our beginning. The season's tears are flowing. Our Imam, we are condoling. Our new year starts with morning. Muharram is our beginning. The season's tears are flowing. Our Imam, we are condoling. Karbala, what precious blood was spilled there. Ashura, Al-Hussein was murdered here. Ashura, Al-Hussein was murdered here. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. My master, have you seen what exchange there was between Abbas, Zainab and Hussein? If only present you had been. My master, have you but seen what exchange there was between Abbas, Zainab and Hussein? If only present you had been. Karbala, scene of our calamity. Ashura, days of our catastrophe. Ashura, days of our catastrophe. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. When I hear the name of Abbas and I remember his story, when he went to the Euphrates to confront all the enemies. When I hear the name of Abbas and I remember his story, when he went to the Euphrates to confront all the enemies. Karbala, my hero you took from me. Ashura, you slaughtered his family. Ashura, you slaughtered his family. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ya Hujjat Allah, I have one more reason to retell you, but I lack the words to say what terrible action will do. Ya Hujjat Allah, I have one more reason to retell you, but I lack the words to say what terrible action did Karbala, grave of the Hussein, Ashura. The time I relive his pain, Ashura. The time I relive his pain. Karbala, why do you hold such memories? Ashura, always full of mysteries. Ashura, always full of mysteries. Karbala.
I yearn to go visit the land of the kings, dreaming to soar around if I had wings. I'm shamed by my absence, so I'll cling to your memories, your memories. I yearn to go visit the land of the kings, dreaming to soar around if I had wings. I'm shamed by my absence, so I'll cling to your memories, your memories. Karbala, I will fill your river with my river of tears. Karbala, when I stand on your ground, I cry away my fears. Karbala, I pray that my service will always be sincere. Karbala, I will fill your river with my river of tears. Karbala, when I stand on your ground, I cry away my fears. Karbala, I pray that my service will always be sincere.